Danny Cormier, boxing, MMA, Conor McGregor and Floyd. Give me your take.
I mean, it's pretty easy. MMA, Conor McGregor smashes him, kills him. If they fight an MMA fight, Floyd wouldn't last 2 minutes. Boxing, Floyd kills him. Conor McGregor can't box Floyd Mayweather. Guys, let's be real with ourselves. Neither one of these guys could do the other guy's sport. But Floyd Mayweather's in a position financially where he will make the rules. Conor's going to have to go to him. So, Conor's going to get beat.
Do you think the fight happens?
Looking more and more likely. I think a lot of it depends on what piece of the pie the UFC takes and how much, if Conor's number wants to go up because the UFC's taken a portion of it. It's all on Floyd's terms, man. Like, even if Conor was to fight for $50 million, you know, and UFC took 20, he would never have seen it. You don't make a $30 million payday in MMA. You just don't in one fight. So still more money than he ever makes. So I say go do it. And to win, all you got to do is stand up. All he has to do is not get knocked out and he wins.
What's up, everybody? We are here with Daniel Cormier fighting this week in Buffalo against Anthony Johnson. On campus all day today, going around Sports Center. You've already done a podcast with Brett O'Connor. How's everything been so far?
Good, man. You know, every time we're here, it's beautiful. Great campus, great people. It's awesome to see everybody you see on TV every morning on sports, and you know, everybody's so nice and engaged. So, yeah, it's been awesome. The weather's not holding up very well for us today, but it's okay.
Yeah, just saying, 60 degrees and sunny yesterday. Now it's raining and cold. But
raining and cold.
I don't know what Buffalo's like, but
Buffalo's actually not that bad.
Not that one. That's good. We took some questions from people on Twitter, people on Facebook. Now we're live on Facebook. So I'll just go through some of these in preparation for the big fight this week.
Okay.
Just looking back at the first fight with Anthony, what would you say are the biggest takeaways you've had from that?
That he's a lot faster than I anticipated initially. Obviously, his punching power is to be respected. It's actually more. He hits harder than you even envision. You know, so he's a very powerful, fast, strong guy that needs to be respected.
What was that first punch like that you took in the first round? Kind of staggered you a little bit. Can you just describe what that was like?
It sucked. I mean, getting hit upside the head, you know, does not feel good ever. I think the first punch was hard, but I believe some of the kicks that he landed were harder than the actual punch because the kicks are thudding. It's like you're getting hit with a baseball bat. The punch was like boom, and I fell. So got up and didn't get punched again. But the kicks, man, I tell you, a couple of those landed right on my head. I had some knots the next day.
Yeah. I mean, everyone talks about your wrestling ability being superior than almost anybody else right now. Do you think he's maybe being a little underrated in that aspect? Or, I guess, what's your take on just his ground game?
He can wrestle. I mean, everybody talks like this guy can't wrestle. You know, this guy's a junior college national champion, state champion wrestler, and then started to fight. So, he can wrestle. You know, it's just, if you're going to take him down, you have to find the right times to take him down. You can't just go in there thinking you're going to go and take Anthony Johnson down on a whim, you know. So, yeah, he is getting a little disrespected in that regard. He can wrestle, and he's good at it.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned in the podcast with Brett Okamoto a little bit ago that the excuse that he didn't have the entire training camp to prepare for you really was also a disadvantage for you because you were preparing to go for a different guy. I guess can you maybe elaborate on that a little bit?
No, it's just that, you know, I had that big fight with John Jones at UFC 182, and then I was fighting Ryan Bader from UFC 182, which was a massive pay-per-view everything, to UFC 1 Fight Night. I was on Fight Night. I was getting to go fight in New Orleans, which was great, but I was going to fight on Fight Night against Ryan Bader, and we didn't even have any, like, heat at the moment, you know, so I was like, I was almost setting myself up for a trap fight. There's a thing called the trap fight whenever you fight for a belt and it's huge, and all of a sudden, if you lose, you go back and you get beat by the next guy. I've seen it happen time and time again. And 3.5 weeks before the fight, they said, hey, John's in trouble. Would you like to fight Rumble? I'm like, of course, it's for the belt. But it's not like I had a full training camp. I was still just kind of hitting pads. I hadn't started sparring. I hadn't started really doing much conditioning because I still had 5 weeks to the fight. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he didn't have a full camp, and neither did I. And I had an opponent change, too.
You mentioned that the only way for him to actually beat you is if it comes in the first round. I guess why do you say that exactly?
I'm just gonna make him work too hard. Like from the start of the fight to when it's done, he's gonna have to work too hard. I mean, I really don't like. I don't want to come off as disrespectful to him because I do respect him, but I just don't know if he can fight at the pace that I'm gonna make him fight for 25 minutes. I'm gonna make him work too hard. I don't believe he's comfortable working that hard for that long. So if he doesn't knock me out right away, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
Right. UFC 209 took a little bit of a heat because there wasn't a ton of action in the main event between Woodley and Thompson. Do you feel any extra pressure trying to put on a show for fans based on what happened last time?
I don't think you got to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, Rumble's not gonna sit and let me just pitter patter with him and play sparring. You know, you don't have to worry about Anthony and I putting on a bad fight, man. We're gonna get after it, 100%.
This is a question I received from Jack. He says, do you think John Jones deserves an immediate title fight after the suspension is done?
You know, I think John Jones deserves a title fight because of the things that he's done inside of the octagon. But there's a lot of things that he's done that we tend to kind of just sweep under the rug, you know. Even the last suspension, you know, it's like, man, we were going to fight 3 days later, and this guy tested positive for banned substances. You know, there's this misconception that he hired a arbitrator or whatever, and they went to USADA and they told USADA his story, and USADA handed down their suspension. What we are ignoring is that before he even went to arbitration, because of what he tested for, those things that mask whatever else it is, they already said the max suspension he could get was a year. It wasn't a 2-year suspension because it wasn't like an actual. It was like a masking agent for performance enhancers. So they said the most you can get is a year, right? So when he went to arbitration, they were hoping to get a shorter sentence if the story worked, right? USADA called bullshit. USADA goes, no chance. We don't buy that you're a 27-year-old man having to use sex pills. We don't believe you. So we're giving you the max amount of time that we can. If they could have given him 2 years, they would have given him 2 years. If they could have given him 5 years, they would have given him 5 years. You know? So based on his stuff inside the octagon, yes. Let him fight for the title. But let's not ignore his indiscretions. He tried to cheat me last time. Let's just be straight. He was going to cheat me at UFC 200.
Just a couple more quick ones. Justin is wondering, do you have any traditions the day following a fight, or what do you usually do like once the fight's over?
Hang out. I usually stay in the town, do some stuff. Vegas, we just spend the day with my family. Go all have a big lunch and dinner. Hang out. Go watch some TV. Go watch a movie. This time we're all going to Niagara Falls on Sunday. So we usually stay in town. You know, me and my kids and my girl, and we go do some stuff. So, yeah.
So you're not rushing out.
I don't rush home. Okay. You know, UFC 200 was so crazy that I did rush home. Because when I get back to my house, man, I stay at the back of a cul-de-sac, and I'm just Daniel Marquita's dad. I left UFC 200 where people were just everywhere. Can we get a picture? And when I went back to my town in Gilroy, everybody's like, hey, Daniel. They're all like mowing their lawn and stuff. Yeah. They're just hanging out. And I love that. You know, I love just being a normal guy at the back of the cul-de-sac.
All right. I guess we'll just close on this. What, just for people watching at home and getting ready to tune in this weekend, I guess, can you give us give us your thoughts on what they can expect?
A great fight. You know, you can expect two guys that are going to go out there and really lay it on the line. We did the first time. Even though Anthony lost the first time, he did fight with all that he had. And it just wasn't enough. But just know that we are two guys that's going to lay it all on the line and really get after it.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.